Can't pour.
Alex.
I can't pour. It's a situation.
Pour it into something else.
I got it to go from a bar like a block away.
I like the dedication.
You better not have the car keys in your pocket, dude.
A block away, you won't.
No, I'm in the camper, not in the cab. I'm gonna.
Is that what you're going to tell the officer when he rolls up? Where'd he go? There he is.
Okay. Sorry, wasn't prepared.
That looked really good.
I'm not using
Alex.
the glass.
Oh, I didn't even have it on camera, did I? Yeah.
All good.
Cheers, gentlemen.
Cheers. Cheers, boys.
Cheers. Yeah.
It's fucking good, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
all right.
You're a fan of the NA Guinness?
I mean, yeah, I kind of am. I mean, they struggle with the non-alcoholic IPAs. I mean, like 1 or 2 out of like probably 10 that I've had is even palatable. But this is at least tastes like the actual Guinness. Fidens, it ain't.
Are you not drinking at all anymore?
Me?
Yeah, what's up with that, Mikey?
Very rarely.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, special occasions, vacation, that sort of thing.
I feel like alcohol is like kind of a separate thing from the enjoyment of all the things that go into beer, like the way you guys do.
Yeah,
it's a component, but like
that's what we try to tell them
and all that stuff. Yeah,
cool.
If you drink on the show,
I will. I probably should have. Of all the episodes, it should have been this one. I broke out one of those stouts I've got marinating down in my basement refrigerator, but
yeah,
whatever.
They
get a ship up to me.
Yeah, they
you guys moved the hard liquor version of the show, Shots and Shots.
Can you imagine the shit show that would be? Holy fuck!
Cocktails.
We should get Hans on for that one. Hans and whoever the other big drinker was, and we'll do a hard liquor show with shots. Jesus, that would be a slop fest.
Oh, it'd be short.
Fest.
I mean,
this isn't the slop fest already?
That would be like next level, yeah. All right, cool.
Well, I'm drinking a nice Pilsner from Brewhouse, and this one's called The Staff, and it has Nelson, Rawaka, and NZ Cascade. And it's really nice right now. It's super crispy and refreshing. You would like this one, Alex.
That looks... Yeah, I like crisp. I like refreshing, juicy. Yeah,
very light. I think it's just 5.
I don't like a thick. Like I don't want like oaty dark. I don't know. Doesn't do it for me for a drink.
You don't need to write them down, Mikey. I keep track of everything.
Yeah, no, but you haven't sent them to me the past couple things, so I'm like, you're a busy man. I don't want to bother you. I know, okay. I know, but you're busy.
Text me.
I'm drinking Miller.
I usually don't think about it until like Friday morning at 4 a.m. So I'm like, I'm not going to text you then, 2 a.m. your time. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead, dude. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
I think TJ was talking.
I'm drinking Miller Lite, mango hot water.
Love it.
Ooh, nice. Hop water.
Is it like beery? Like what is
not
that?
At all.
Watery.
It tastes like a mango soda that like wants to be a soda, but it's not. It's like, hey, one day I'll grow up and be a soda, but it's like missing something. It's fine.
Good.
So it's carbonated.
This is what we have to drink when we're not alcoholics.
It's all good.
I had NA Guinness apparently.
First time on that one, TJ?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Did you ever like Guinness, TJ?
No, not really.
All right,
I mean, it's fine. I've had it before, but I've.
No, it wasn't like you're like, oh, that's my jam. Yeah, never mind.
When I was drinking alcohol, it was usually IPAs and barley wine.
Legit.
Yeah, Guinness is like a meal, so it's like.
Yeah, but it's not that many calories. Like an actual Guinness, like pint can is like 110 calories. So everybody thinks it's like this massive, like fill your stomach up
so
thing.
Thick, yeah.
I thought it was
yeah,
higher.
but it's not. Well, I don't know. Google the shit out of this right now.
Let's get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. People want to know.
What are my other colleagues drinking tonight?
So I've got something new here. I'm down in Asbury Park, New Jersey today. couple blocks from the Stone Pony. And this one is from Wild Air Beer Works here in Asbury. It's got Fortuna. It's an Italian style Pilsner, which caught my attention, and it's really good. It's a lot more herbal than a standard Pilsner that we're kind of used to. So they're dry hopping it with some kind of noble hops. They're not really saying what they're dry hopping it with, but it's pretty good stuff.
What brew did you say it was?
Stone Pony?
Wild Air Beer Works. It's in Asbury Park.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I think they've been around for 2 years now, possibly 3.
Those are great summer beers. Those Italian Pilsners. They're like super refreshing.
Yeah.
It's really nice. So they do a great job. I'm curious to try some of their other ones.
What are you doing in Jersey? Like nobody goes there on purpose.
I've had family down here, but my girlfriend is also down here too. So she lives down here in Asbury Park.
Gail?
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
How's
one?
she doing?
Good. She's doing great.
Yeah. As soon as I said Gail, I was like, man, I hope that didn't change.
Oh, dude.
I thought you said jail, and I was like, no.
No.
You're like, hey, maybe.
Been there, though.
The night is young.
Yeah. You there for the week, or you just overnighter?
A few days, and then heading
gotcha.
over. Yeah.
Good.
Dope. Good for you. What you got there, Paul?
Well, gentlemen, this one's compliments of Jimmy. It's a Seize the Darkness.
Nice.
It's from Fidens. It doesn't have a hop profile, but it's 8.1%, and it's really great. Have you had this one yet, Jimmy?
Yeah, I've had a couple of them. Yeah, I've really enjoyed them. I've been trying them at like different dates.
Yeah, it's really great. So
that one has Citra, Mosaic, and Simcoe.
There we go. That was quick, dude.
It's pretty thick too.
Yeah, it's nice and thick. Tastes great.
2 C's.
Yes.
Noriega's doing something shady right now. There he is.
No, I'm trying to figure out what this is. It's from
You had to turn the camera
a
off.
block away. I live in McKenna, and I am near the Denver airport in a hotel parking lot, and and there's a
You're on the
bar like a
Starlink right
block
now?
away, and they do to-go beers, and that's how I got my beer. But I don't. It's a juicy IPA. I don't know what it was. I don't
Oh,
remember.
it is? It looks a little dark.
Parking lot
like-
juice.
Yeah, it's darker than I expected, but it.
Looks like an amber ale.
West Coast.
I don't
Did they
know.
give you Did they give you a 6-pack of those?
No, they gave me one of these, and I have like a margarita in a can in my fridge too, and those are my drinks.
That's round 2.
Good man. That's so awesome, dude. This
all
one's
I
to
got.
go.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was like a joke. We were asking like, do you have beers to go? And they're like, actually, yeah, since the pandemic, like we.
Sweet.
Nice.
Apparently they do that. Yeah. So
But how do you
Nice.
how do you take it from the place to where you are without driving?
no, I didn't drive. I walked over there.
I know, but I'm just wondering like their system, like it's
Yeah,
just,
they're just giving people
you're
beers
just walking
to go, like,
around.
road soda, as we call them.
Yeah.
There's a drive-through.
They're in
Things are different
Pennsylvania.
drive-thru.
There actually are
They
drive-through
would
beer
do that in
distributors.
Wisconsin, wouldn't they?
Not a liability issue at all.
They tried to pull back those COVID things, like you could get cocktails to go here in New York. And then the governor tried to pull it back, and they're like, no, it was too popular. So like,
Yeah. It's too
kinda kept it
convenient. Yeah.
rolling.
Yeah.
I had a situation like that. I was in Iceland, and I was at this little store, and I got a couple of beers. It was like 2 or 3, and they opened them all when I paid for them. I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
I've seen
He's
that.
like,
Yeah, and like,
wait,
I'm like, what are you-
hold on.
Yeah, I'm like, what are you
They don't have the
doing?
license.
I was going to pack that into the.
Yeah,
You buy
I'm
like
I'm
18, he's like,
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not drinking all
those are
those
for the
right
whole
now.
trip.
Yeah. And they're like, well, we have to open them before you leave. And I said, well, let me get this straight so I can
Doing-
have open beer in the car.
encourage you to chug them all when you're driving away.
Close.
Before they get flat.
It was such a bad deal. I was just like, I got to get out of here. I got to find
That's
another
interesting.
spot.
Iceland. Oh, what a drag, Iceland, right?
Yeah.
Sucks.
Bastards.
So Mikey felt like he wasn't getting enough airtime. I wasn't letting him talk enough. So I let him take charge of this episode. It's his big night tonight.
About to blow your dicks off with this gallery.
Jokes on you.
Got anything you want to say before we pump him up?
Yeah. So so a lot of these images, I'm pretty sure we haven't featured any of these artists. Is that right, Eric?
No, there were a few that we have. But you also haven't been on many episodes, and I doubt you watch them. You're not very committed.
Yeah, no, I don't watch them at all.
Your level of involvement.
Doesn't even watch his own
minimal,
show.
Minimal at best.
No, I don't.
Expects other people to watch it, though.
But yeah, so anyway, well, I was trying really hard to get some names that we haven't had on the show. Some people with a little bit less notoriety. Not all of them. I mean, some of them are obviously, even if we haven't had them on the show, you'll probably recognize the names. But all solid work. Stuff that's caught my eye over the past several months, and it's really inspiring work. So pretty pumped to share them with you guys. I think you're going to like them. Curious to hear what you guys think about them too.
We'll tell you.
I know you will. Jimmy just zipped his fly down, so that's a good start.
Yeah, he's getting prepared.
Getting ready, yeah.
Yes. It's go time.
Mike, I'm not so sure those are NA.
If he lights up a cigarette, we're in business.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, so yeah, the other thing too, I actually was going to choose names that I could pronounce. But then I gave up on that. So I'm probably, if I fuck up anybody's name on this, it's my bad. But so anyway, this is the first issue or first episode, or what am I talking about? First photo. Misaki Nagao. Correct me if I'm wrong. Any of you guys think that might be pronounced
Paul
differently?
featured one of his images back in the day.
You fucker, Paul. All right.
You
Well,
already
anyway,
also about to start,
Piece
Mike.
of shit.
I know. Jesus. It's not going well. Anyway, yeah, no, I absolutely love this this image. I thought a number of things. I love the simplicity of it first and foremost. I think his treatment of the light was absolutely phenomenal. It is absolutely phenomenal. Really well edited. The shadows in the background have just enough detail, and it provides that separation with that light. I imagine this was pretty difficult image to edit, or at least it would be for me. But yeah, I loved it. I love the color palette, the subtle color palette, the perfect balance of light, the simplicity of it. Just definitely one of those images that jumped out and grabbed me as I was scrolling the gram.
Yeah, this thing's really perfect, and I love all of his work.
I'm not familiar. I'm going to have to look him up.
Yeah, his name is Nagao on Instagram.
He's definitely got some good shit.
Yeah, that moment. I don't know. I have to imagine it's not that long of a time that only those trees are lit up, and then to have those conditions line up with it, it's yeah, it's wonderful.
Are those like spider webs on those trees, like almost dead center, like backlit spider webs?
Oh yeah,
or moss.
Or moss.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe moss.
Looks kind of thick to see from this distance if it was webs. I like that little hint of a tree on the right, actually. It's like some shadow detail.
I just like the feeling of light in the darkness. I think it's a lot of that's something a lot of people can relate to.
Right.
Yeah. And it just works visually. You picked all of these, Mikey?
I did.
Awesome.
Hard to believe, but
I know.
Yeah, this is a beautiful image.
I didn't know like you get so tasteful.
I had Jimmy send them to me. I was like, Jimmy, what'd you do?
I did.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, and I spiked those NA things.
Yeah, exactly.
It's interesting to me. The trees at center that are all lit up almost feel like they're miniature compared to the ones behind it. It's like this.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah,
the one
that is an
frame
excellent point.
looks a lot
Yeah, it
bigger.
just feels
I
like
wonder how tall they are,
like,
actually.
tiny.
Maybe they are, yeah.
Yeah, it
Or
could
maybe
be.
they're like more hardy, like they are just like beaten down by winds on the lake or something.
more exposed. Yeah.
More exposed. Like oh, I was going to say they're flagpole. Like kind of more. The third one from the left kind of looks like a flagpole tree. Like it's more swept to the right. Like they probably do
Yeah.
wind.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe even broken off at the top. The way that top looks a little weird for
Yeah, snapped.
an evergreen.
Yeah. TJ's face.
What?
Like something was broken off. A little rough.
Funny.
That's funny because you're in front of like the worst picture of me that's existed. Move out of the way. You're blocking my face. Other way.
Yeah, I was hoping to have Alex on when we did TJ's episode, but didn't work out.
Yeah, sorry.
Landed that way.
Life's been chaotic. Try to come to more now.
There you go. Love that.
Yeah, this is
Good job,
really
Misaki.
awesome.
Yeah.
Dead, and the subject is dead center, but it works really well. Like you wouldn't want it anywhere else. And
Well, the horizon's not though, so it doesn't feel too on the nose. Like
sure,
yeah.
yeah, it feels awesome. Yeah, the distribution's really nice of the shadow background and the darker water, and then that golden light hitting the misty water is just awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Super nice.
Have we had Marius
No, I never
on
heard of
before?
him.
Okay, yeah. So Marius Kasteckas does a lot of long exposure, kind of minimalist photography, which is kind of one of my favorite little, I don't know if you want to call it a subgenre or what you want to call it, but he works in that realm really well. And I thought this photo is fairly emblematic of a lot of the work that he does, but this one in particular, I just love the foreground and those white rocks. That kind of texture that adds, that granularity that adds to the lower half of the photo when you've countered with the long exposure effect on the water and the clouds, kind of a contrast of textures that works really well. And, once again, a kind of a simplistic subject that's really well balanced and just kind of pleasing to look at.
Mm-hmm.
It's got some subtle, like the motion mimics, like the motion of the rocks, their arrangement mimics the clouds, even though it's
subtle.
It's subtle, but it all
like
helps
a mirror
it
of the
feel
tree.
more cohesive. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mirror of the shape of the tree.
The pebbles.
Also the detail. Yeah. Like the tree's like this, and then kind of comes down. I don't know. It has a lot of really good flow to it in the rocks that mimic the tree, and it would be a completely different photo if it wasn't a long exposure.
Right.
Yeah. There's texture in the water.
Yeah, the long exposure just kind of focuses you on only the essential elements, and everything else is kind of a backdrop then, or canvas.
Yeah, I love those stark white stones. Like, I don't know about you guys, but usually what draws my attention while I'm out in the field looking for stuff or, kind of thinking about making photographs is just contrast and like just those white rocks against dark, like marshy grass and water. That would totally draw my eye in the field.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super cool.
Yeah, he just did a great job, kind of constructing, composing the image.
And it's color, right? Like I see.
Yeah, it is. There's
blues.
It's a little bit harder to see here, but
the slight green.
Slight green, slight blue. Yeah.
The trees like it looks like spring, like the trees like budding.
And photos like this, like if you desaturate them and go full black and white, they feel like they lose a little depth. Like I love these almost completely desaturated photos with a hint of color.
Yep.
What if it was black and white? You would kind of think he just like manipulated the tones to make the rocks white.
Yeah, it's more believable with the color even. Like the rest of the rocks.
Yeah, black and white might feel like he's forcing the contrast instead of it being naturally there.
Yeah, at first glance, you think they're covered with snow a little bit too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just that first.
I thought it was like chunks of ice at first when it first popped up on the screen.
Wow, that's embarrassing, TJ.
Wow.
I'm used to that, so I don't.
Way off.
I don't care.
So
this is pretty different for you, Mikey. I feel like you don't really shoot wide angle stuff or.
Yeah, that's exactly, and that's actually part of the reason why I chose it. I didn't want it to be all kind of smaller, more intimate scenes, and it takes a lot for like a grand landscape to catch my eye, but this one did that for sure. So Koki Dote, I definitely not had him on the show, and his work is relatively varied. He doesn't just do grand landscapes; he does a lot of intimate, a lot of abstract stuff. But just I don't know. I think it's the shapes, the foreground shapes of these plants, these wildflowers, kind of mimicking the shape of the mountains in the background, and how those two shapes kind of draw the image together front to back, with that kind of empty mist in the middle ground there. Just kind of has the photo flowing really well. The diagonals. The subtle diagonals in it, just really well seen, I thought, and composed. Again, I like the color palette. The cool blue definitely kind of imparts that feeling of like a very cold, raw kind of environment. I don't know where this was taken, but definitely has that kind of.
Yeah, it feels European to me.
Yeah,
that's what was my first thought.
Yep. Yeah, me too. So yeah, it's I believe Japanese. But yeah, anyway, just a really cool image. I thought that he, used the foreground really well and worked with that and tied it in with the mountains. So just a really kind of eye-catching image.
Yeah, it says cool. I like how it has that cool feeling too, but it's not too blue. Like it's not
not in your face.
You don't need that much color to make the impression.
Mm-hmm.
But then on the flip side, you have people like Richard Martin that use a lot of color, and it like looks natural and amazing too. So I guess
depends on the scenario.
Yeah.
How do you find out about this guy, Mikey? Have you been following him for a while?
To be honest, yeah, I have been. Well, I don't know how long I've been following him. He's definitely been on my feed for a while. To be honest with you, I don't know how
I never heard of him.
How it crossed my radar, but yeah,
I like
consistently good work though. It's a cool name.
Koki Dote.
I hope I pronounced it right.
It's a cool
got some
element.
nice stuff.
How the mountains appear, like there's radiant light behind them. It's
like a backlit scene, but it works well. I typically don't like backlit mountains.
He's got the dark like at the top there, like the glow is kind of enveloping the mountains, but it's not the entire sky. So it's got some, I don't know, it's got some atmosphere, especially the fog. Like the fog catches that backlight. It really works in this scenario. Like those layers pop.
He won the Snow and Ice Award in 2022 for the Landscape Photographer of the Year with a pretty crazy image of like frozen trees.
There you go. That may have been how I discovered him.
From Japan, yes, yeah.
The Poti.
Yeah. Thanks, TJ.
Of course.
Nice.
Leopard.
I'm gonna check out more of his work later.
Check out more of his work. He's got his Instagram Gabler is pretty sick, and like I said, pretty varied. Intimates.
Saw some really nice
grand
stuff in
landscapes.
there.
Yeah,
he's got some cool stuff.
Yeah, so like all the other Japanese guys, just like killing it. Yeah,
this is cool.
This one's crazy.
I love this image. I've been staring at this one for a long time. Ronald
I've never
Jansen,
seen it, but I know this guy.
Yeah. I don't think we've featured him. This one for me,
there are
it's
two Ronald Jansen, so it's hard to remember which one's which.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
That's kind of funny.
It might be like Ronald Jansen or like something really close. But
I've definitely seen a lot of images from Ronald Jansen's that I like. I thought it was all one guy.
Might be clumping them together into this like
They're
one
dividing and conquering.
Oh, that's unfortunate for all the Ronalds. I'm sorry, guys.
Donald Ranson.
I know Sarah featured an image from one of them, and I thought it was the other one, and I was wrong.
This guy's Instagram is rnld.jansen.
So there's another one. His Instagram is like I see light, but I is like EYE.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. Anyways.
Man, hope I got that right.
Yeah, I follow
anyway. So, for me, this image is once again about simplicity and that pop of color. I love how that stands out and the kind of high key treatment of it. It just works. It's just very pleasing to look at, very calming. I thought very kind of peaceful image. It's just cool. I'm so drawn to these images. In fact, when I was selecting images for this gallery, I had to filter out like a half dozen images that were kind of, variations on the same theme of like the lined up aspens or birch trees and fog. It's just a very calming, soothing sort of thing, the type of thing I love to appreciate in woodlands photography.
It's almost like the tree that has lost all of its leaves is like cradling the last part that like still has leaves, like trying to protect it and keep it around.
That light branch is like grabbing the clump.
Holding,
hanging on the fall.
Yeah,
that's
the
beautiful.
Most resilient of the leaves.
Beautiful interpretation.
It really is.
Yeah, it's I
like it.
Yeah, it's sweet.
A nice twist on you do see a lot of aspens stacked up, but this is really nice. It stands out for sure.
Yeah, this looks like Europe or something, like beech trees.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah, light colored trees. Yeah, I'm such a bad naturalist. I know. I'm like, it's a light tree. That's an aspen, right? They're all aspens. Every light tree in the world.
Yeah, I'm terrible with trees, especially conifers.
I want to know, man. Naturalists like Rob Hirsch, like people I know that like they can just like pick up a needle, like a single needle, and they're like, oh, I know, it's like, like
Tell you how old the tree was.
That's so cool. Like I want to be like you when I grow up.
The other day I saw a reel that was like a minute long, and it showed you how to like identify each different kind of like the main like fir trees, pine trees, like just from the needles. And I already forgot like 30 minutes later.
Like, firs are friendly, so like they have soft needles. That spruces, where pines come in packs, so the needles are like in a pack. Firs are friendly. There's like a phrase for each one that you remember. But yeah,
alliteration to help you.
It's like, oh, this is going to be good knowledge to forget as soon as it moves on.
You have to be like out in the forest studying it every day for it to stick.
For sure. But we'll call those aspens.
These are aspen too.
These clearly aspen.
Right, yeah.
The tree's aspen.
All trees are aspens, I thought. I didn't know there was another kind of tree.
Jonathan Woods, large format photographer. I love the color palette of this. Obviously, it's the kind of duality of the blue in the water with a little bit of yellow, and then kind of flipping with the more predominant yellow up top, that transition. And then obviously the symmetry created by the reflection, just really well seen. Thought it was a cool image. I've been meaning to feature his work. There are a bunch of his images I've been kind of having saved for like previous episodes. And so it was about time I kind of got him on here, but really talented photographer out of the UK. Somebody I've been following for a while. Really appreciate his work and his take on nature.
It's so nice. I love that the perspective puts that same tree against two different colors, You have the repetition, but it also doesn't feel like a straight reflection where you have the exact same thing twice. Yeah. And that top edge is different than the bottom edge, like perfectly placed lines heading out of the frame. It's really, really nice.
What comes next after like warm and cool color contrast? Really, like green and magenta or something, or like what other kind of color contrast is there? That's
like green and purple. Like I guess like flowers in the forest, like in the mountain summer or something. But it's just not as cheapy as a blue and gold.
Gold and blue is just so great. Yeah,
it's nature's complementary colors. There's a thing on like if you look at like all movie posters, like they all use it. Like everything uses that for advertising, but nature still does it best. I don't know.
Never gets old.
For sure. It really doesn't.
Beautiful.
I like that his last name's Woods, and this is a photo of a tree. So good job, Mike.
Yeah, it's mostly woody photographs.
Good job taking a picture of a tree when you're named Woods. Yeah, that's actually, I think maybe the best thing that he did here. It's not the wonderful composition or anything like that. No, the thoughtful photograph. It's really woods and trees. I'm so glad we have TJ on this one.
You can take pictures of thorns, TJ.
Yeah,
dude.
I'm gonna become a rose.
You gotta have some of those.
I got the rose gardens here. I should go up to the rose gardens and become the rose photographer. All my photos into the news stations, get featured on the morning news.
Yeah, man, you'll be famous. No time.
Exploding. Mike, is he doing large format or is he?
Yeah. Yep. In fact, I think that's his. I may be mistaken, but I think his Instagram handle is Jonathan Woods large format.
Nice.
Double check.
And then there's X large format.
Is there? I don't even know. I don't know shit about photography.
I think his name is like Bill. What's his name? That one guy that like makes his camera and the photos are like this fucking big. He's like I don't know if he's Japanese, but you don't know what I'm talking about?
No, is he the guy who did those huge national park books?
No.
That's QT Long. Is
QT Long. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
No, that's the other guy. He's like an older guy. I think. No, it's a different guy. But I always see these like Instagram reels of him, and like he's like pulling off these huge like slides, like from a custom made camera and stuff.
It was a long time ago that I saw this guy made a pinhole camera out of a van, a delivery van. He just blackened the whole back of it and drilled a hole in the door. And then on the inside, he covered the hole, which was the the shutter, or not the shutter, the
I'm gonna get that guy on the show.
But he had a magnet on it, and on the opposite wall, obviously, he put like a giant piece of paper that I don't know if he like bought it like that or if he just like put an emulsion on it or whatever. But to trip the camera, he just sat inside of it and pulled the magnet off, like sitting inside the camera as it was exposing.
That is
crazy.
Wow.
Dude, that's a trip.
I think the coolest thing about that is like how deliberate he would be able to be with compositions, because vehicles famously are like really easy to move around in three-dimensional space. And
Yeah, I mean, he had it on a ball. He had it on a ball head, a BH 555.
Yeah, BH 555. And then he had like his drivetrain on the bottom was an Arca Swiss, like 380 millimeter instead of 38.
He adjusted with the steering wheel.
That's just one of the geared action.
You have to spin it 30 times for like 1 degree.
First, he has
movement.
to like have a crane like on a
This is what
truck
it's like hanging out with me and Alex.
to drop the BH55 in place, and then he puts the fan on it, and then he can manipulate it and take the photo.
Yeah,
All before the light disappears. Yeah.
He tows a crane behind him.
We got to get that guy on the show.
There are like, oh crap, what's his name? Ian something. But he takes photos and then he puts the emulsion on plates like in the field, and he like has like a tarp. Then he builds like this little like dark room, and then like paints the puts the emulsion on and loads it in his camera, and then takes a shot, and then goes back into the dark room and like processes the film right there
on the spot.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm cool with my Canon R5. It works pretty well.
Yeah, I like it.
it's certainly a different approach.
You guys are missing out. You wouldn't understand.
Yeah.
Ooh, what we got going on? Oh, Birgit, of course. She's so good.
Yeah. Again, I don't think we featured her before. No, I don't think so.
She's amazing.
I've been following her for a long time though.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a whole series of these images, which are just absolutely phenomenal. And all of her work really is a lot of abstract stuff, a lot of ice stuff, plants, multiple exposures, I think. But in this series in particular, and I really could have chosen any of them, but just the color palette with I assume this is ice, by the way. Just the color palette of the foliage that's presumably beneath the ice, it just worked really well. So it's a really, really cool series to look at, and I just really enjoyed it. Really eye catching, and all of her work is, and really, I think she stands out, with her abstract photography. It's obviously something we're seeing more and more and more of, but hers always kind of stands out. So happy to share her work for the first time here.
Difficult to do really well or in really novel ways,
Absolutely.
And I think the plane she chose to focus on is interesting too, because it's like really most of the image is out of focus except like a couple of bubbles right in the front.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that color contrast we were talking about.
Yeah.
Colors.
Yep.
I think I would have been tempted to have more of the stuff in the background in focus, but I really like how it's just like that one bub.
Yes.
So, I don't know. It feels chaotic if you like look at it logically, but it just also feels right if you don't. Nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's a cool series. I mean, it's worth checking out her Instagram for these. They're kind of scattered throughout her Instagram, so but a lot of really cool patterns and stuff that she captured and composed well.
Yeah, all her stuff is great.
Do you think she's coming back to it like over time? Like she keeps.
I don't know. That's a good question, Jim. Or whether she's
kind of like an ongoing series over the years.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that might be hard to do. I mean, because they're consistent enough that it's. I should just post one the other day.
Mike.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, if you have really strong preferences, you can take photos years apart that look really similar.
Yeah.
Mike's not there yet.
No, I'm not. Nor will I ever be. Yeah, no, they're going way back. So yeah, it's got to be. She's got to be going back to the places multiple times because they're going way back in time. So I don't know.
It'd be like a Bill Nye situation where she has a fountain in her backyard and just
yeah, it could be something she sees every day.
You weren't supposed to tell people about that, TJ.
What?
The big reveal.
About Bill's secret subject.
Water fountain.
Talks about it.
Yeah,
I've shot his water fountain. Who else have any of you guys shot his water fountain?
I have.
Water fountain?
haven't had the privilege.
With my iPhone.
Standing right next to him. Me and Bill Neal shooting water in his backyard.
You guys must be pretty close.
How high up is he on your pinned text on iPhone? Number 1.
So, let's see. When did I last text him? The 3rd.
Me and Bill only text each other when we're mad about our books.
How's that going, man?
I'm still waiting.
Fucking shit.
Supposed to have them soon, but nothing's for certain until they get here and I check them out again.
I have one. You want to sell this one? I have one up here in my. I don't have a lot of room in here.
You would sell that, Alex?
No. I had to make I had to be careful about what I brought because I only have room for like 10 books, and I have quite the collection. Yours was one of them. Your new one.
Oh, how about mine?
Yeah, I also need some room. Like I don't know. I could get some comic books in there instead or something.
Do you have my book?
Something trivial. Like it's just.
Did you bring
I'm
my
sure you
book?
have TJ's because it's so small, rinky-dink little
Have me drop ship it.
pamphlet.
It's like 1 inch shorter. All of a sudden, it's a
It's a
pamphlet.
trifold.
By 12.
Pamphlet.
By 11.
Well, you got to get
So
ready
crowded.
for my next book. My next book is my panorama book.
We're talking about
scroll.
the Valley. It's like 1 inch by 30 inches. Like,
Fits perfecly on bookshelves.
And
but then
and
Ron made
there's
the joke of
vertical
the super tall
panorama.
one that's only 1 inch wide, and it's like super hard to turn the pages. 30. Like, and you need a whole bookshelf. Like, you have to glue it to the side of the bookshelf.
You get the centerpiece where it's like it's 2 by 11.
Oh, right. You could do a spread. That's 2 by 11.
Yeah, it is. 24 by 11.
Franka Gabler probably. Not featured on that. I think this was one of the ones I was thinking we have had on, right? Have we had her?
We haven't had her.
I'm almost positive we featured one of her images.
Really good.
Yeah, I thought so too. So that was one of the ones I kind of knew.
Did we not feature this one? This exact image in the NLPA?
No, the NLPA one that looked like this was Bree. I'm blanking on her last name. Yes.
No.
She had
Franka won. I judged the first year. Franka won a category with one like this. It might be this one.
This was the first year?
First year. Yeah.
Okay.
I remember.
We did the second book, right?
Yeah, we did the second book, and I know it was Bree's image. I think that I'm pretty sure that looked
we
a lot.
featured
It was
Bree's
similar
on that
subject
episode.
matter.
Well, I didn't have room for the NLPA.
Okay, if this was from year one, then we didn't because we didn't go over year one.
Yeah, but just a great image. Colors, very kind of subtle tones. I love the shapes and the transition of shapes. It's just kind of compositionally really, really good woodland work and brushland work. Definitely has that nice kind of early winter feel, very late fall. Almost looks like it may be snowing in it if you kind of look in the background, or that may just be the way the leaves are reflecting. But
I think it's like
got that
over leaves, but her processing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like those
It's
little
phenomenal.
pieces
So
of
on
leaves
point.
that are
Yeah.
still attached.
It still just adds to that kind of cold weather feel.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
And
the bluish purple is really a beautiful wintry color too.
Yeah, those plants are super fluffy looking.
Yep. And it's just with that gap in the center towards the back. I mean, the image just flows really well. There's a very subtle symmetry to it that is just kind of very, very pleasing to look at. So just an all around great image.
It's
really
nice
well
that she
done.
left grass at the bottoms to make the bushes kind of mimic the arc that's in the background too. Like it all has kind of an arcing feel to it. And if you were to compose that out, which would probably be my initial inclination, like then it just kind of feels flat on the bottom. So
Great point.
yeah. I remember that being one thing that I liked about it, like the whole arc, the arcing shape of the bushes on top and bottom, and the tree even.
I would sleep in those bushes.
I bet you would.
I have a photo
After a
of
few
you in a bush.
hop waters.
We do.
Ibex. You love that bush.
Yeah. I love that. I laid down in a bush. It's not comfortable, but it's what I wanted to do at the time.
It's what you wanted to do.
what I wanted to
You
do.
were into it. You were super into it. I should have that as my background. What am I doing?
Yeah, dude, for real.
Do you mind if I did that?
It's not too late.
Do it.
Get it going.
Yeah, I'll work on it.
That was a good night. Good night.
It was a fantastic night.
Good night of laying in bushes
Yeah. Staring at mud.
and staring at mud. Alex, so I'll give the so we ate mushrooms, which is the reason I was laying in the bush.
Portobello. I was gonna say, I've never heard of like many sober people sleeping in a bush by choice.
He wasn't sleeping.
we,
He was just sitting there for hours.
Or I guess, yeah.
This is getting better.
But we right when they first started to hit, Alex was like, "Oh, look at this mud over here," because the mud
certainly
was
good.
cool. But like I walked over to like where he was, and the mud that I looked at, like just because of my mindset of like being at the beginning of a mushroom trip, I was like, holy shit, that's the most. I was like blown away by the mud, but it was like
It was overwhelming to me. I
worst.
couldn't even
It wasn't
look
even what
at
he was talking about. It was just like it was terrible. But I was just like in such a you had to be there anyway. It was funny because I was so into everything that even this really terrible mud was amazing. But yeah, then I went and laid in the bush.
That'll be me on Tuesday.
You doing mushrooms?
I didn't say that. It's a cool one.
Confirm nor deny.
Oh yeah, you live in Utah.
Oh.
You can talk about stuff like that.
Anthony Spencer, he is really good. I haven't seen much.
He's a cool
recently.
guy too.
He's all medium format, right?
I believe so, yeah.
I don't think so. Really?
Not anymore. He was at one point.
Let me look. We've definitely not featured him.
We have. David Thompson featured him.
God damn it, mother.
David Thompson's a fanboy.
You have a single
He
original.
shared that funny.
Episode over.
He shared that
I
funny
know.
story about Antony driving like across the state because David showed him some photo, and like that night he drove like 15 hours to go shoot that place.
Wasn't that Miles?
Nah, I remember.
I thought that was Miles. Okay.
I have good memory for random shit. Nothing useful.
You can get Miles on here.
Yeah, we were talking about that before. Well, anyway, so it's a really cool image because of the shape. I don't know, the shape and the color balance, that kind of orangey red and the turquoise blue from the ice. I think this is taken in Greenland. So just a very powerful kind of evocative image. You can kind of do a lot with that in your mind mentally, how you look at that, and almost kind of an illusion at first. I love how he left the water at the bottom. It kind of gives, that element of scale to it. But just, again, very eye-catching image. And he posted it relatively recently, or I saw it relatively recently. So it definitely stood out.
I love the reflective part on that left part of the iceberg because it
so
almost
much
looks
more
like a wave shot, like a a fluke
Cresting wave.
But it's solid.
Well, and the shapes
Right.
too are very wave-like. Like, yeah, that's.
Yeah, for
I've
sure.
always loved his use of like muted colors. I always feel like he does a great job with that. I remember some White Pocket imagery of his that had really like kind of subtle pastel tones, and like White Pocket's. I mean, a lot of people render it super colorful, So
Yeah,
Right.
they push
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's beautiful, and a warm blue. But
There it is again.
Yep.
See my background? Oh wait, we're just little thumbnails now, right?
Is that
Yeah,
it
we'll
right
see
there?
it
Yeah, I could see it.
when we finish.
I love that.
I'm sitting in the bush.
Okay, we'll get to it.
The reveal. Yeah, the other image
share your
that
screen.
David featured of Antony's was his one from like Greenland. It's like a glacier or like a big iceberg in the water, and then there's like a little iceberg, and it was like it was awarded in
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember
Natural
that.
Landscape Awards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I forgot that was it.
actually, we featured that one, and David featured a different one. Actually, he featured one of these like icebergs in the water that kind of created like a S curve.
I think I
People can go
remember that
back
one,
and
too.
check it out. But yeah,
Yeah.
Anthony's got great work, and he's going to come on the show at some point. I've been talking to him.
Cool. I love it.
Very
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, this is a great image, Mike.
Yeah, it's definitely a favorite I've seen recently.
It's just
Paul, you're
crazy
not
that-
very enthusiastic tonight, man. What's going on?
I know I'm trying to. I'm finishing my coffee and my beer at the same time.
Well, that sounds like a good combo. It's not doing the trick.
Yeah, no, I'm working on it.
Okay.
It's the symmetry on the two sides of those, the two wave structures, but the symmetry is pretty wild that you would get such almost like mirror images of each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wonder what causes it to erode like that too, like where it's inverted because there's like a lip and then it comes in.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were like, it almost looks like two separate icebergs that kind of
ran into
smashed
each other.
into one another.
But it also kind of feels like one continuous form, like almost like it was like a full circle and it broke or something.
Right.
Mike, we'll have to do a report out on it.
Yeah.
Here in a few
I'll
months.
Do a little bit of research and come back and drop some science on you bitches.
This one's crazy. I always appreciate really chaotic texture,
Yep.
wiry break
And
scenes.
that's what I loved about this one too. Once again, I feel like I'm saying a lot of the same shit, but I guess I'm kind of attracted to similar images for a reason.
That's how
but
it was
once
when
again,
I
color palette.
did my episode where I chose them all. Like as we were going through them, I noticed like, wow, I kind of, like the same things in all these photos.
Yep, exactly.
Kind of realized what draws me to photos.
For me, again, it was just this kind of subtlety of the transitions in the color palette. There's kind of three kind of separate sections of color, looking into the background. But obviously, the thing that I love most about this image is anytime a photographer can take and create some kind of order out of such a chaotic scene, like this. And there's not like a real in-your-face order to it, obviously, but like if you kind of step back and just look at it, there is a symmetry to it. There is some kind of order to it. So I think that takes so much skill to be able to do that and do it consistently well, which Hans definitely does. So, this was just an image that one of my favorites of his, but he's got several similar ones. Just really talented, just great eye. And his work is consistently good and inspiring. So glad to finally get one of his images on the show.
Yeah, I'd never heard of him. But this one's super well framed.
Really nice.
But if you're a photographer and you're familiar with this, like you've tried shooting stuff like this before, like it's like he did it really well, but like backstage it's really fucking hard.
Yeah, that's challenging. Yeah, like the focus, you can see that upper left branch a little out of focus, but this is such a challenging scene. And like you see maybe the main forms on your viewfinder or on the LCD, and like that looks balanced, and then you look at it large and it doesn't really work. Like it's got so many distractions, but this still checks out large.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It looks like they're coming out of water.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
Is it like
There's
frozen?
like pollen flooding on them or something. On the surface.
Yeah, I think it's pollen. I don't think it's frozen.
It looks like a spring image.
Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking with it, but
The water's like so opaque too,
Yeah.
like swampy.
I don't know if it's water. To me, it looks like grass with some kind of like dandelion type plant.
That's what it looks like. But
Yeah,
the way the trees are coming out of the water,
Yeah,
or
it
whatever
doesn't
it
look
is,
like the
it
base
looks
of a tree. It looks like it's submerged. Yeah,
exactly.
that's the thing. But it does
Yeah.
look like it could be grass, or it could be like a swampy surface with like
I would say
cotton
pond
or
scum
something.
with maybe
Yeah.
some snow on it.
Yeah, snow or cotton, like thing, like you know,
Cotton.
Pollen shit.
yeah.
something.
Well, there's an extra element of mystery. Like the composition's already good enough, but then you start thinking about it. Yeah.
Yeah, that ground is crazy.
Yes.
So since we're all sharing backgrounds, that's Eric actually stomping my composition.
Oh, like smashing it so no one else can shoot it ever.
Yeah, so I'm scrolling through it. I was like way far away. It was like 500 millimeters, and I was focus stacking it. So I'm like, which I probably didn't really need to do in retrospect, but I'm like going through. I'm like image, and then all of a sudden Eric's standing right in the middle of the goddamn thing. I was like, motherfucker.
I did you a favor, man. It was a horrible photo.
It was actually a horrible photo.
Wasting your time.
Yeah,
I
you
was
kind
like,
of
I'm gonna
did.
help him out.
Yeah, yeah, actually stomping my composition. So.
Have you gone out shooting since that trip? Since you came out to Utah and we cleaned up?
Yeah, a couple times
Oh, really?
around here. Yeah, I hardly ever shoot around here in this like summer, like from like
I'm
the
the same
end of
way.
spring to fall. I really don't go out very much. I'll kind of do some shit around my house. So I do like all my like yard work series images, but yeah, it's just not. Everything's just green and thick, and it's just there's not a lot going on.
Yeah, so like as you know, I live right in front of the Wasatch Range here, and there's all these mountain canyons, and they're amazing in the fall. And like I usually go in the winter until they close. But lately, like last few years, I've never done anything in the summer. But I went up there a couple of weeks ago so I could film some footage for my new tutorial video that I just did. But so I just went up there, like, you know, without any expectations, just to film some stuff. But I was like, oh my God, like it looks so sick. Like it's so beautiful. So then I went up like the next day too and shot more stuff. And yeah, it's kind of funny how you just write off certain seasons, but there will be like a week or two where it's just amazing. And every year is different too. Like there are all these wildflowers in this spot in this aspen grove where I'd never seen them before.
Makes me think of that Drake meme on Comp Stomps, like with like the green leaves, and he's like,
Yeah, you kind of
So true.
Yeah, you can kind of become repetitive. Like, you know, you hit something and it's really fun. So then you want to do it again the next year. But then like other things, like, I don't know. I don't really experiment much with spring, but it can be awesome if you find the right stuff.
Definitely.
I have some spring images that I love. I just don't connect emotionally as much with the color green. It doesn't do as much for me.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, you don't get that warm and cool
Blues
color
and-
contrast like you do with orange leaves and blue snow or like,
Even just pure blue. Like pure blue is much more emotional of a color for me. Like
winter.
It makes me feel a lot more. I don't know.
Yeah.
I appreciate
it's
when
really
people
cool
do
though.
green well, like Hans here. So
The other kicker is that Mike and I out here, we just get devoured by all kinds of biting
Oh, yeah, it's
flies.
miserable.
It's like, it's just, it's not fun at all.
Yeah, horseflies are horrible.
Those are brutal.
Don't stop.
Those actually
They're terrible this year.
It's like you park your car at the trailhead and they're like on the windshields, just waiting with knives in hand.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah, I have a gnarly horsefly story for another time.
Ooh. Beth, I'm gonna record again soon.
Yes. So we've not had her on. I'm pretty confident of that. I love her work. Like she's has a really wide variety of images, everything from architectural stuff to natural stuff, but almost all anyway, very abstract. And she's just another person who does abstract so well, and to make abstract stand out, I think just like she does, really says something
here. Like this is
a
lot of layer shots of Zabriskie, but this is actually an abstraction, literally speaking. Yeah,
exactly. So she does a lot of stuff with
maybe not.
multiple exposures. Yeah, I don't know exactly how she made it. It is a Zabriskie, and I think that's what she did. I think she just kind of layered it somehow, whether she did it in camera with
To me, it just looks
exposure
upside
or how.
down, like it's inverted.
Yeah, she rotated it.
But either way, I thought a cool effect.
Eric doesn't like rotating badlands. Actually, I've found. I had a shot of some blue ones that he made me rotate right side up. Thanks.
I made you.
You forced me, man. You forced my hand. You came over here and held a gun to my head and made me rotate it in Lightroom until.
Do it.
Yeah.
He won't leave you alone about it until you change it.
Oh yeah, like if there's like a color cast on some bad, it's all
like
it's
such a
just
snowflake
Badlands
about it.
images that he's up your ass about. He just won't fucking leave you alone.
Goddamn right.
Badlands
I
Police.
don't like it. Can you make this look worse? Can you take all the color out and make it look? Can you make it look anemic? It was a really nice sunrise with some nice pink light, and it cast the whole entire land in pink. What if you just took that
Neutral.
away?
Got rid of
and
that.
What if you took
What if
that
you made
like
it look like shit?
color casts are bad? Oh,
Make the landscape bleed.
Beth
Yes.
is really good. Okay, that's
Yeah,
that's the
Beth
point.
is.
That's the point of all of that. Beth
She
is
was a
phenomenal.
student of me and TJ's. She was a great
Nice.
student. She was
And
on
Death
that
Valley?
Came on our.
Did she take this on her workshop? Maybe I don't know.
I don't know.
She's been.
She posted it
been
relatively
back to Death
recently.
Valley. Yeah, she's been back to Death Valley since, but she came
Okay.
on our workshop, and she wasn't like she's not like a nature photographer, so she was like really worried. But usually, like so, her and Allie, who was another person
Allie,
that took a
no.
workshop, wasn't like a nature photographer primarily. I just love the different way that they see, it's like a refreshing.
Yeah.
They see different things. They see different shapes, forms, patterns. They see light differently. And what I like about Beth is, I love experimenting, and she just like has so much fun with that. Like she literally, she like sat in her house and mixed like soap and ink together and was playing around with like different bubble shots. And
the guy that made a book where every photo is of the same thing loves experimenting.
Exactly. Wait for my other books. They'll be different. They won't all just look like regurgitations of my first book.
Different water.
You guys seen water before? Have you seen it 100 times?
Well, I just added another 100 images of water to my website. So there you go.
Nice.
There you go.
I'm gonna go check them out.
She took this on March 1st, 2024, according to her Instagram. So I don't know if that was
No, it was a couple years ago. She came with us.
Yeah.
She's so good. I recorded a thing with her, and then my life changed drastically, and we're gonna record it again because it's about what's going on in your life and stuff. She's like into probing the creative process and like what.
Does she have a podcast or something?
Yeah, she has the Pixels podcast.
She has the Pixels.
Okay.
It's sort of like a creative. Yeah, she like her questions were really good, I thought, and we're gonna
Nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
She's really
How long has she been
she was
doing
on
it?
she was on the creative exploration workshop that I did up in Olympic National Park where we just camped for 5 days. Yeah, she's just the way she thinks about things and the depth at which she thinks. Like, I get her. We're on the same wavelength. I like Beth.
Super weird.
Look at her Instagram. So freaking good.
Yeah, her work is so awesome. She's got a lot of variety.
Stuff is so good too, and I'm not normally into architecture, but the way she abstracts it and like makes art out of someone else's art, because that's really kind of been my problem with photographing architecture. Is like very few people make their own art of it. It's more like a representation of someone else's art, and she made art out of that. It doesn't really matter what it is. She's
like they're not really organizing it into something new.
Yeah,
they're just showing you what the architect already.
Which is the
envisioned.
job a lot of the time with architecture, like represent the building as it is, or like at the space. Like that. That's something in and of itself. But Beth is so creative with it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
This one's really nice. I bet TJ really.
That's what's
sick.
Not wall.
Yeah.
Probably looks like a painting.
So Graham MacFarlane, again, just another photographer doing abstract real well, really well. I'm not exactly sure how he did this. I could take a couple stabs at it. I think it's probably a multiple exposure with some ICM.
There's definitely some diagonal ICM, and then those leaves are like imposed or
second exposure.
Something.
Yeah. But to just the creative effect of it is just great. It just mimics the canopy of the tree, or what you would assume would be the canopy of the tree based on where the trunk is. And once again, broken record over here, but like the palette of colors just works so well to create that fall autumn kind of image and abstract feel.
I just really love the contrast of the texture of the big maple leaves and everything else. It's so nice.
Yep.
Really satisfying.
It can be hard to get a feeling of depth in these types of images, and I really feel like this one has that feeling of depth. It's more forward, like we're viewing everything close. It's not like the depth is leading us backwards into the frame. It's more pushing that tree up to the front to be the focal point.
Absolutely.
And a completely centered subject too, which people say you're not supposed to do.
Oh, it really works here. There's so much else going on. Like you don't need to get cute about the composition. Like it's already just interesting as it is,
Yeah, I think it's perfect.
It puts the focus on
Very appropriate.
the painterly techniques. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great shot.
Yeah. Yeah, it's actually kind of, Jimmy, reminded me of some of your work, Jimmy.
Yeah, no, I'm envious of this one. I think I saw it a week or two ago. I was like, that's a really cool way of thinking about it.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of Graham before.
I'll be following him. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Instagram?
He's got some really great stuff.
Yeah, he
Is that on
does.
Instagram, Mikey?
Yeah, he is.
I will
I'm pretty sure it's just his name. Let me double check.
MacFarlane with an E, maybe? It's with an E, not a D. For anyone looking. MacFarlane,
MacFarlane.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mikey's not very good spelling.
My bad. Yeah, I failed that class.
FYI for anyone searching.
Bar.
Well, I change it when I edit.
Yeah, we'll fix it.
We'll fix it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll
Mike
fix
just
it.
contributes so
Eric will
much.
fix it.
Fuck off. Yeah, but great body of work on his Instagram feed. So
Yeah, he definitely.
absolutely worth checking out and
Got a
following.
great body.
Yeah.
Sure does.
Ooh, great body.
Great body. Really, really solid.
He must work out.
Yeah, I love this one. And usually I'm not a huge fan of this kind of stuff in particular, but this one, I'm really sold on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally looks like a painting. This one's nuts.
Yeah, Christian Fletcher. So does a lot of Australian photographer, Western, I believe, Australia. Does a lot of aerial stuff, and you know, I love all of these. There's a number of different photographers out there, like BK Boynton and a couple other ones doing this aerial work out of Western Australia, and it's all fascinating, and they all do such a good job of it. But this image really stood out amongst even that top tier kind of body of work that I've been looking at lately. Again, just the absence of color, and then the in your face kind of red orange color mimicking a flame with that kind of, you know, I don't know. You have absolutely no sense of scale here. Obviously it's aerial, but you know, coming out of that, it's almost like a candle. I mean, you could make this image mentally into anything in your mind, and I love that about it. It's what makes it so engaging.
Coming straight from the tree image, I thought it looked like another tree trunk.
Yeah,
But then,
yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be from like
It could be like a small
800 feet
scene
in
on
the
the
air,
beach too. Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it's aerial. Let me see if he said something.
It's an aerial,
about it.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just saying.
Australia's got some crazy aerials. I mean, there's some people that make their entire living on that. Their portfolio.
Let me see if he said anything about it.
Almost looks like blood spatter in a way. You know, those
It's
red
like a
flecks.
river of blood.
I'd be curious
Yeah.
to look at the, like up close where that color transitions to the kind of neutralish gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is that created or just like a kind of accentuation of the colors already there?
Is it just like a selective color? Like everything else is desaturated?
Well,
except for
that's what I'm
red?
wondering. Like, how does the transition look? Like, is it?
Yeah.
It might
Or
be,
it's
but
the
it might
fact that-
also not be, because some of those like tailing ponds and things are, you know, they have really stark
Yeah,
edges.
it can be
'cause-
crazy. Yeah, from the air, especially. Like, you don't know what this sort of thing looks like. Really, there's probably only
Yeah.
a couple examples in the world. So
It's
That's
also
what he said.
interesting too.
Tailings
because the
Dam in
origin-
Southwest.
The origin of the color is yellow, orangish yellow.
Mm-hmm.
Like the little hole.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. But that's what I love about all the. I mean, they're so kind of mysterious, and there's so many like what ifs and like all these things with this type of imagery. Really
Yeah,
makes
very
it fascinating
interpretive.
to look at. Yeah.
Open for interpretation.
Yeah. And I almost don't want to know. Like, you know, I almost.
Sure.
I'm with you on that.
right,
Yeah, it's
it's a good point. Be like a seed
Yeah.
bottom.
ooh yeah.
So
What's this?
I
light?
Man, that ring of light around the
love-
trees.
Yeah, what?
exactly.
Wow.
I'm assuming maybe moonlight, full moon coming from above.
Yeah.
That,
Well, but then the
tree-
frozen snowflakes. Like, how could you
Yeah.
freeze the ocean under moonlight?
that's true.
No, yeah, it's just like
Yeah.
diffused white light, I would say.
Or
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So Enrico Raimondo.
Enrico Raimondo.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to hook that up for me, Eric. But
I
Spanish
wanted to
name
watch you struggle
translator.
first.
I know you did. I appreciate that you let me though.
Watch the
you know.
struggle.
How am I going to learn otherwise? Yeah. But I obviously love winter tree images. Probably my favorite to shoot personally. And I'm always a huge fan of them when I see them done really well, just like this one is. This scene obviously is all about the light and the way that he captured it and kind of froze this literally and figuratively moment in time.
A lot of centered subjects in these images.
Yeah, well, so I mean that's definitely a
Like
lot
really
of the work
balanced
that I try to make
stuff.
is like very minimal and symmetrical,
Balanced. Yeah.
balanced. Yeah, exactly.
I'm rubbing off on you.
You're seeking
Yeah,
balance. in
there
your
you
life.
go. Yep, exactly. No, actually, well, so I was talking when I was on Matt Payne's podcast. I was talking to him about that, and like he actually asked me that question. It was the first time I had thought about that. Like, why do I seek that out in my images? And he's like contrasting that to like my professional life and stuff like that. So I don't know, probably worth some exploring.
Yeah,
maybe a little
centered, feeling.
Yeah,
gotta go see a psychiatrist.
We got rest without the sort of discord of
chaos.
Yeah.
Like I frequently use the time when you and I were in Olympic National Park, and I was like, "You notice you take a lot of photos of solitary leaves?" And you were like, "No, you remember that time?"
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Very well. Very well.
But yeah, it's like because like I try to get people to like recognize things like that in there, like these things that you keep doing that you might not be aware of, and like what do those things mean? So what does it mean that you drawn to centered subjects? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I need to explore. But I think I don't know. It's just I seek harmony in photography, right? So like I feel like life outside of art for me can be very chaotic. You know, it can be fast paced, it can be stressful, and so what I get out of photography personally is kind of harmony and calmness and lack of clutter, lack of chaos, and beauty and simplicity. And I mean, that's probably the best way that I can describe it. And that's more or less how I answered Matt's question when it was asked on the spot. It's just that subconscious drive towards simpler things, as opposed to
is it a subconscious? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But
no, you didn't. No.
You didn't. I'm glad you cut him off. He was going to go forever.
Exactly. You wind me up, I won't shut up.
Maybe it's a representation of like your feelings. You know, like this, you are out in nature, and instead of being in this chaotic hospital environment that you're familiar with, it's just like you alone in this place. And like by centering subjects, usually they're solitary subjects when you're centering something. So it's just kind of like highlighting this solitary feeling of being somewhere just by yourself and having the focus be on you instead of other people and work and crap like that.
Absolutely, dude. Yeah.
Mike,
I mean, the theme is definitely there. No, I'm not.
Okay. We're just exploring. We're exploring some childhood.
Right now.
We're exploring some childhood memories here.
Hey, I'm an open book, man. Unpack it, dude. Whatever you guys got. I'll tell you everything.
We're taking you down that road, that lonely road.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Of one and centered.
Yeah.
Cross-analyze this bastard.
Exactly.
This bastard. This son of a
bitch. This solitary, centered subject son of a bitch.
Bringing it back to this image, this is really fantastic. I mean, I've just been looking at this while you guys were blabbering, and I just like it.
Blabbering. Enrico Raimondo.
You're getting Mike's space.
I feel like capturing falling snow is really difficult to do. Like a lot of times it just turns into like, it just looks like fog, or like it's just really small. Like getting those big, like bubbly looking snowflakes like this is pretty difficult in my experience.
Yeah, especially without using a wide aperture, but it looks like it's sharp from the tree to the background. Yeah. That's kind of rough. I don't know. I wonder if it's multiple exposure or something, but
that's what, like if you have to take one just for the snow and then put it on top, because otherwise like it's so close to the lens and you're focused like at something so far away. None of it even like picks up.
It could be telephoto.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah. They just look really big and flaky. It's got to be the right kind of snow too, I think.
Right.
Yeah, it's heavy.
It could be falling from the trees rather than falling from the trees rather than the sky, rather.
Maybe like trees right in front of him, like almost right on top of the camera.
It could just be a Photoshop brush.
Could be AI.
Could be an AI image.
That's true.
Hey, question?
Yeah, dude.
Alex, you gonna hit that drive-through again?
Which one?
For the beer.
Oh, I have my beer's
He's got a margarita.
Oh,
I have a margarita in a can in the fridge but next episode we're doing it back to back, right?
Fuck
Are you sleeping in this parking lot that you're in there now?
That's kind of my life now. No, it's just more convenient because Denver doesn't have like good BLM land around it. It's like all.
I'm just wondering where you're gonna drive off to after having some.
I'm not driving
margaritas.
anywhere. I'm staying here.
You are sleeping in the parking lot.
Yeah, I paid for the hotel last night. They can let me stay another night.
TJ's
hotel parking lot.
I'm in
I thought
the
you were
hotel
in
parking lot. I was there last night in the hotel.
Oh, gotcha.
He just sounded like his
For some
mom
reason,
right
I'm
now.
just staying parked here.
Yeah,
What?
TJ's being ruthless.
Yeah.
He's
I'm not
freaking
driving.
cut.
So you're not
You
driving.
don't have to refund people for Death Valley if he drives somewhere and dies.
Well, you have all the money. What's it to you? Like, it doesn't matter to me. You don't have to
I
gather.
don't want to have to give it back.
I can fill in for him.
Yeah, somebody can
Then,
pinch it.
Oh, you
have to
Eric
charge a little
I need
extra.
to
Come to
give
your
a partial
funeral, like,
refund
where are you
for the
gonna-
loss. Yeah.
Eric loves Death Valley, though.
But you know what? I do have all of his raw files, his full-size TIFFs, so
There you go.
Those aren't all
There we
my
go.
those are my finished photos. Yeah.
So I cracked another one, men.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah, boys.
Right here.
Gross.
He's doing
Yeah,
that thing he does. Oh, that one's brand new.
Yeah, this thing's brand new. It's great. It's just came out this last week. Non-Servain. Hey, help me out, Eric.
Non-Servian.
There you go. And
That's
it's great.
Latin.
That was like, by the way, that was basic reading.
Yeah, this is
I need to put on my glasses here. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah, it's good. I mean, you bastards didn't want any. It was the number 9.
It's not that I
drop
didn't
last-
want it. Just
It was the number 9 drop last week. If you guys want some, I got some extra.
I'll see.
So,
See what else
figure it
comes
out.
out.
See if you like it, and then we'll.
no, it's great. I had some on tap today, and I'm having this one right now. It's a triple hazy, 10%. Pretty tasty.
All right.
Oh, they had that. I had some of that other half drop that they did yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it good?
Not great.
Not great.
No shit. We haven't had the other half on here in a while, I don't think.
Yeah, I had a can of. They were popping cans there. They had some on tap, and they were popping cans as well. And so I took a can of. They'd only had a couple left, and I took it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a big box coming in the mail, so
I saw that, dude. I'm stoked to try those.
good.
You got a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, that's okay. Try something different.
No, for sure.
Speaking of beers on tap, though, I was having lunch today at this place that had Hill Farmstead on tap, which is like crazy rare.
Yeah.
Even around here, yeah. I've only seen it on tap one other place, and I know the owner of that restaurant that I've seen it before is somehow tied into Hill Farmstead, like they're like brother-in-law or something like that. So it's the first time I've seen it in a random restaurant on tap. So
Great stuff.
I've never had
yeah,
this
maybe
stuff.
they got a bunch of fancy ass beers. They do a lot of like saisons and shit
Farmhouse.
like that.
What
The
is it,
most
Mikey?
popular is it's called Hill Farmstead.
In Vermont.
Yeah, it's in the middle of nowhere, Vermont.
famous. Like, they're a big name in the craft beer scene.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact that that I saw it on tap down around where I am, because I'm about like 2 hours south of where they are. If they start distributing, I'll buy some and ship you guys out some. If it starts getting easier to get. Right now, the only way I know of to get it is to go. Maybe there's some stores that have it, but generally speaking, you got to go up to the brewery, which is fucking a pain in the ass to get to.
Alex, show us that background now that we're full screen. There's TJ just enjoying the moment.
Great time.
Is that bush? Is that the bush?
This is a bush.
It looks kind of pokey,
Right there. Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
super
wasn't
like a
comfortable.
dry ass desert bush,
Weren't feeling a thing.
like a tumbleweed.
Yeah.
Dude,
And then I laid down in it.
Dude, you're staring into the sun. Let's see that again.
Well, that's what you do. You gotta
No, the
sun's
sun's behind them.
It's like it's off to
Damn.
my. But
He's
then
turning
like,
his back to the sun.
when you start getting the auras and the visuals, like you close your eyes and you look towards the sun, and you get it's just like so much brighter and so many more colors.
That's
Burn your
awesome,
retinas
dude.
out.
Well, you can't shut your eyes.
That's
Don't
so
forget to
good,
do that part of it.
Have eyelids.
What year was that?
This
That
year.
was this year. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
In January.
Yesterday.
February. February
Yeah,
11th.
exactly.
Oh,
It was yesterday.
Yeah, he's still tripping.
It was the night of the Super Bowl, and that night we like when we were coming down.
His team
it was all
won, so
dark,
he's like, "We're gonna
and
celebrate, take some shrooms."
we could see
Yes.
the light.
Did before.
No, we could see. We took him before, and we could see the light over in Vegas. It was in Vegas, and we're like,
Oh right. Yeah.
so many
yeah.
millions of people focused on that over there, and we're just like over
And Mikey
here
was there.
Experience, yeah.
We had the
Yeah.
whole universe to ourselves because we were like, we're out in the middle of Death Valley and like in the middle of all
Like,
these mountains. 'cause,
Remote Death Valley, like the very edge. Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't get to where we wanted to go because of quicksand, so we just like posted up in the middle of a river that was in the like. So we're basically surrounded by mountains. We had a super long sunset that burned like well into twilight, and then just like not a perfect temperature, not a breeze in the air, and just like the the universe above us. And then when we were coming down, me and Alex started talking. We're like talking about how we had the whole universe to ourselves basically. And then that's when we realized, we're like, look at the glow over in Vegas. We're like, it's Super Bowl Sunday. So like the whole entire world was like focused on that glow, and we just had like the cosmos to ourselves.
Good time.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It was a
show,
good time.
I'm gonna show.
Pretty cool.
You mentioned that that video.
And you guys had sex with each other?
Yeah.
Just hand jobs.
Yeah, exactly. Kept it clean. High and tight.
Clean with a little hand job. Yeah.
Well, we had to test out the shutter release.
This is the mud that I was.
Oh yeah,
Oh shit.
I tried shooting this. Like I pulled out the
that
camera.
does look pretty
It's just
trippy though.
overwhelming, and like I had to put my camera away. Like I was bad vibes. But
Would it like absorb you?
It's bad vibes.
Yeah, man, this mud was insane.
Well,
It
you
was
weren't.
so expensive.
Alex got off to a rough start.
I did. Yeah, I didn't know I was gonna be tripping. I took a smaller amount, and then it turned out that the stuff was.
I
Really
thought this
strong.
was a
Like,
microdose.
Yeah, I thought it was like a giggly dose, and it's like, oh, never mind, we're having a spiritual experience. Okay.
Here we go.
Dude, that's the hard
Felt
part with
on.
that kind of stuff. It's just
Yeah.
like you don't know. You don't
Yeah,
know
I
till you
gotta
get
go
there.
We have to be prepared for anything, and I wasn't.
Just
I
go
was
full
like,
on,
oh,
man.
it's gonna be exactly how I think it is. Yeah.
You can't expect to do anything else. Like that
But no,
becomes the
it
day.
ended up. It was great. After I accepted,
can't combine
You have
it
to
with
accept
something.
Go with it.
Yeah, that becomes
you
the
gotta
day.
re-
You can't hope to do anything else.
Yeah, you
Could have
can't
read the
force-
wave.
force it
Follow
to
it
be.
Could have
where
read
leads
that
you.
wave, that mud wave.
Dude, that mud was incredible. And
Dude, it
and-
looks sick as fuck.
Yeah, when we went out, like, or I came out later, like middle of the night, and it was still glowing, like reflecting in the light of Vegas, like totally dark, but just the glow from the horizon. The mud was glowing, and everything else was black. It's fucking. You can get a single photo of it, yeah. Except these cell phone shots.
Oh, good stuff, Mikey. Thanks for putting those images together.
Yeah, great stuff.
Mike, that's a great
Yeah,
great
came
job with
through.
those, man.
I was
You did
I was
a really
worried
good job.
to hand you the reins, but
This is
He
Mikey's
came through.
showcase. Is everyone gonna have a showcase, or is Mikey an exception?
yeah, I did one. Mikey did one. Maybe Paul or Jimmy will do the next one.
You came with the goods, Mike.
With Paul, it'll be hard because he'll send me all the images last minute, and it'll take me a while to throw them together. I
Oh,
don't
like
know.
I did with the wildlife ones. Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were actually after Paul. That would make
Yes.
Paul feel good.
Yes. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm the just next to me. Anyone can look responsible and put together, right? Like it's
That's true. Yeah.
It's just hard sometimes. Wait, because I'll just send a message to folks and like saying, "Hey, are you cool with using your shit?" And sometimes it takes a day or two to get that back. And
Or more. Yeah.
yeah, a lot, especially if they're on another continent somewhere, and you just don't know how active folks are in checking their messages, and yeah, it's just a little bit.
When you pull it off
tricky.
MySpace, it's bound to fucking happen.
Never respond.
Exactly.
MySpace.
Oh,
Cheers, you
so
guys.
good. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers. Here's my
Cheers.
Yeah. Continue.
empty